friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you this cute little doggy card that I made. And if you're looking at this card right now and thinking it looks a little familiar, you may remember my horse card, Let It Ride. So whenever I cut out this portion of a rectangle out so I could pop in the horse, of course I had a piece left over, and I thought, what can I do with that sky and grass? So I used the Happy Tails bundle, which comes with the Happy Tails stamp set with the doghouse and the dog and the spots and all the little bone is so cute but hard to cut out and some really cute sentiments there. So many times we want to send a sympathy card when one of our friends or family loses a pet, and so this is a great stamp set for that. And it comes with this dog punch, which is really cute with a little heart on it. So as I said, we're going to be using these stitched rectangles, or should I say rectangle stitched framelits. So if you're looking at them in the catalog, in the index in the back, or you're looking online, they are called the rectangle stitched framelits. So we're going to be using the three biggest ones on this card. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I did when I made this card. So if you're going to use your frames, you might as well get the most mileage out of every roll you do on the Big Shot. So what I did is I knew that I would be doing this third to the largest one. So that's the one that's actually going to cut out the colored cardstock on my card. So that was going to be, had to be where what was going to be popped into this white frame. So then I took the next larger one than that, which actually is the second largest, and I put it right around that one. And then I took the largest rectangle that's in the rectangle stitched framelits and I put it around there. So now I put three of the rectangles, so you can see it's going to create two different frames plus an insert that you can use on another card. So if you're going to take a roll through the Big Shot, you might as well get three things out of it. So what I did is once I rolled that through the Big Shot, I end up with these three pieces. As you can see, this was the inside piece that was cut with the smallest framelit that I picked of the three larger framelits in the stamp set. Then this was the frame that ends up going on the card. And then this, just because I made this frame here, I made another frame, and it's going to go on a card. Actually, I can already see that this would make a great card with maybe something stamped in here, and then a frame on the outside and designer paper popping through. So we'll see what Cindy Lee B comes up with. So the next thing I want to show you how to do is we have our frame that's going to go around the front of the card. So then I just took and I taped together two pieces of cardstock. I used the Balmy Blue and the Granny Apple Green. So I cut it to 3.5 by 3 3/4 for the blue and 1 1/4 by 3 1/2 for the Granny Apple Green. And then I just overlapped it a tiny bit, as you can see, whenever I did the card there. And then I just put some Scotch tape right across there. And then I took that smallest of the three rectangles I had, and I just placed this on here. And if you get this on crooked, it doesn't really matter because this is going to be the actual framelit that you can move around and straighten up. So if this was actually crooked, you would just straighten it up as you put the frame on and roll it through the Big Shot. So then I just put it on like that, rolled it through the Big Shot, and ended up with this. Now, had I made this a little bigger, like I did on my horse card, you would actually then have had yet another piece here. It's almost perfect, but I didn't really measure it to make this frame, but you could easily have yet another frame made out of those rectangle framelits. So then I had what was going to be my insert here, and I taped them together so I could show you how I did that. So a little patience here to pull this apart, and I'll show you how we're going to make that front panel. So of course I should have had another one of these already cut out, right? Wouldn't that have been smart to do? But I didn't, so we're gonna just wing it here. So as I get all this. Why did I tape this on so diligently? Huh. That's okay. It's still going to work for us on the card. Ah! What a mess. Maybe I'll have to do a video on what not to do during a video. So there we go. Nobody knows any better how beautiful that rectangle came out. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to want to put this white frame around there. So now we're going to put our frames both upside down, and we're going to put tape right along that frame line. Okay? Don't need to be so generous as I was on the last one. I think I was afraid that it was going to come apart before I made my video showing you how I did this. So there we go. Now we have that front panel. Now this dog is really cute, and I chose to use crumb cake here for the card base and then make my dog with crumb cake. So on this card, I decided to change it up a little, and I'm going to use soft suede. Now don't worry about writing down any of the measurements or materials I did for this card. It will be on the post. When you're searching for any card I've made a video, always in my search bar that's under my photo on my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com. In that search bar, just put the name of the stamp set. So if you were looking for this one, you would look up Happy Tales, and then you would find this card. So here we go. We're going to do a soft suede card base. And this card base was just a half a piece of cardstock, and it is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2 to make a bottom opening portrait style card. And then I'm going to be putting my focal point right on the front there. So we're going to get some snail and put some snail on there, and we're just going to center it onto our rectangular A2 size card. So you guys can see better if I'm being straight when I'm putting these on than I can. So there we've got the front of the card ready. So what I did for this card is I took the dog stamp that's here, and that's the silhouette, the image, not a silhouette actually, but the image of the dog, and I stamped it on crumb cake and I punched it out, and I have a soft suede puppy. Now you'll notice these little spots here. You can have make a Dalmatian with a whole bunch of little spots, or you can just do the random spots there, and that's very easy to do. Once you stamp your dog, on this particular card I did soft suede and I did crumb cake, not soft suede. So then I just inked it up, and then I just lined up the little rump there and right on the breast and right around his eye, and I just stamped it, and I had some cute little spots there. There we go. So then on this card, since I used soft suede for my doghouse on this one, on this card I'm changing it up and I'm going to put crumb cake. So what I did is I just stamped my little house in crumb cake like this, and then you're just going to fussy cut it. This is a nice, easy card image to fussy cut. I like to pick areas where I can just do a straight line. There was a straight line. And here's a straight line. I've got Archie and Lucy in the stamp room with Grandma today. So we'll see if they're gonna have a vocal appearance today, but they're usually pretty quiet when I'm making a video. They must know what I'm doing. They think Grandma's thinking. Ha! So then I just do another little snip there, a little snip there. And like I said, each time I'm cutting, I'm just cutting a straight snip. And when you do a straight snip, everything seems to come together. It's those curvy ones that can be crazy. So there you go. Super easy to cut out that little doghouse. And there we go. And I just realized here, you'll notice on this stamp set that there is not a doorway. And all I did for this doorway here on the doghouse, because it just seemed like it needed a doorway there, I just took one of the fine tip pens that you use for scrapbooking, and I just took and made a little arch over my doghouse door. So there we've got our doghouse there. And we've got our dog. What we need to do is have our little bone. And oh my gosh, where is my little bone? Where'd that bone go? Maybe Archie and Lucy took the bone, because I certainly did not want to fussy cut a bone on camera today, but I might have to, but oh gosh, I found a little bone. Now they're looking all around wondering where the bone is. So I found a little bone here. I have to admit, I do wish that Stampin' Up! Would have put, instead of this little heart, would have put a little bone there. That would have been easier because Cindy don't like to fussy cut at all, but I had to fussy cut that bone. So there we've got the little bone, and then of course we've got this cute little collar that goes on him, and I just stamped him on a little scrap, and once again just used nice straight cuts, and I went ahead and cut off the little dots that came with that because it just didn't work as far as what I was working with, because I was putting the heart there. And then I just put the little, let's get a little Tombow glue here. Where's my Tombow? Oh, it's just more than a hand reach away. Okay, so we get a little bit of Tombow. Anytime you're trying to get your Tombow out, you can just take a little scratch piece of paper and make a little dauble there. And then we're gonna put some on the back of the little collar and put it on our little guy. He's a big guy, actually. And then we're just going to put some adhesive on the back of our doghouse. And I just kind of lined it up so that it was off a little of the white and a little bit off center, so you kind of saw the effect of the crumb cake being offset from the green and the white and the soft suede. And then we put our little guy, our little dog, on dimensionals, of course. So just get maybe 3 dimensionals on there to put on the, what I really loved about this card is I had made a swap card of the horse, and when I cut out those pieces, I thought, what am I going to do with all these blues and greens? And that's when I decided, oh, wouldn't it be neat to put it with the dog, because I'd been thinking of the dog and the dog house and everything. So then you could just stick a little bone there. Okay, now the cute little thing here about the punch is it does have a heart in there. So what I did is I stamped a heart on real red using my Memento Black, and then I just pop it in to my punch and put it in there so I can see it well, and then punch and hopefully not lose it, which I didn't. And then I'm just going to use, this is a great time to use your little tiny Stampin' little mini dimensionals, but since mine aren't sitting right here, I'm just gonna pop a little piece on here. So we're gonna set that aside for a second because we wanna put our sentiment on here. And I used the Best Friend Leaves a Paw Print on your heart, because on the inside, I'm gonna put So Sorry for Your Loss with a paw print. So, and as you notice, I used a piece. Now this actual rectangle here is as big as this border here. It's not the smaller piece that came out, but you could easily use that piece if you would like to. So there we go. And we're going to use the paw print, and that way we're going to use a little bit of Memento Black, and we are going to put that up in the corner. I love the photopolymers since you can see them. A best friend leaves a paw print on your heart. And then you just pray, oh, please let this stamp well, since I already put it all together. And it did, thank you. And then we put a little heart on there. Isn't that cute? So this is a fun stamp set. I think, like I said, I think all of us need to send sympathy cards for our friends who lose their pets. They're so special to us, just like Archie and Lucy and Toby are to me. So there we go. We've got 2 different cards. I just changed it up a little bit. I switched the crumb cake and the soft suede. And then here, look here, I did a little cute white one. And I was going to put the white one on the card, but to me it was just a little too white. But I think you can do so many different variations. You could put black on here, but the white and the white, I kind of preferred using a little bit of a contrast. But so many different things you can do with this dog. So you can find this in the Occasions catalog, the Dog Builder punch with the Happy Tales stamp set, and of course those rectangle framelits, so many different rectangles and different things you can do. And really get creative. If you're going to be using one of the rectangles, cut out another rectangle bigger than it and just put it aside on your stamp desk. You'll find something to do with that. So if you have any questions on this card, making this Happy Tales card, you can look on my blog under Happy Tales under the search bar, and you'll find it. If you don't, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I love hearing from you. So go over to my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com, subscribe, and then you will get a post in your email. Each time I post, you'll get an email saying I posted, and I like to post at least 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesdays being my day for videos. So I'd like to thank you for stopping by, friends. Bye-bye.